living in the present moment. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Yet, it's one of the most elusive skills in our fast-paced, distraction-heavy lives. If you ask most people where their mind is at any given time, chances are it's either stuck replaying old mistakes, missed opportunities, and what-ifs from the past, or it's leaping ahead, dreaming about or dreading some version of the future that doesn't yet exist. And so the question remains, how do we ground ourselves in this slippery, fleeting thing called now? To start, let's admit something important. Our minds are like wild horses. They wander, they buck, they resist the reins. This isn't a failure on your part, it's just how the human brain is wired. From an evolutionary standpoint, worrying about the future and reflecting on the past kept us alive, planning for food, shelter, and safety, while learning from mistakes was essential for survival. But here's the catch. We're no longer running from predators or chasing the next meal with spears in hand. And yet, our minds still race as if every passing moment is a life or death scenario. The Buddha, a master of understanding the human mind long before modern psychology caught up, summed this up beautifully. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. It's poetic advice, but it's also grounded in a truth backed by neuroscience. Studies in mindfulness show that focusing on the present moment can literally rewire your brain, reducing stress, anxiety, and depression. Think about it. When was the last time you felt truly happy, agonizing over a past embarrassment or obsessing over it? It's impossible. Happiness only exists now. But let's get real. Living in the moment is hard. If someone told you to simply stop thinking about the past, you'd probably laugh. Our brains cling to memories like a toddler clutching a favorite toy, replaying them on an endless loop. Sometimes this is comforting a nostalgic tune, a tender memory of love. But all too often, our minds fixate on regrets, mistakes, or traumas. It's like watching the same painful movie over and over again, hoping the ending will somehow change. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. The same goes for the future. Daydreaming can be inspiring, but when it spirals into anxiety, it becomes a treadmill, exhausting and going nowhere. We create elaborate scenarios in our heads, imagining the worst or the best, forgetting that neither is real. The future is just a projection of our thoughts, yet we let it dictate our emotions in the present. So, how do we break free from this cycle? One word: awareness. Awareness is like the flashlight in a dark room. It doesn't eliminate the shadows, but it shows you where you are. When you're aware that your mind is wandering, you can gently guide it back. This isn't about control or force. It's about kindness. Imagine your thoughts are like a curious puppy darting off the path. Instead of yanking its leash, you coax it back with patience. Hey, come back here. Let's focus on what's right in front of us. This is where mindfulness comes in, a practice rooted in both ancient wisdom and modern psychology. At its core, mindfulness means paying attention on purpose to the present moment without judgment. It's not about silencing your thoughts, but about noticing them without getting swept away. Imagine sitting by a river, watching leaves float by. Each leaf is a thought. You don't have to jump into the river to grab the leaves, you just watch them drift. A simple way to practice mindfulness is through your breath. The breath is a built-in anchor, always happening in the now. When you focus on the sensation of your breath, the cool air entering your nose, to rise and fall of your chest. You are tuning into the present. And the beauty of this practice, your breath is always with you. It's the one constant in a world of chaos. But mindfulness isn't just about sitting cross-legged and meditating for hours. It's something you can weave into your everyday life. Washing the dishes, feel the warm water on your hands, notice the bubbles, hear the clinking of plates. Stuck in traffic, instead of cursing the red light, notice the rhythm of your breathing or the play of sunlight on your dashboard. Every mundane moment is an opportunity to wake up to now. Of course, this isn't to say we should ignore the past or future entirely. They have their place. The past is our teacher, and the future is our canvas. But the key is balance. Reflect on the past, but don't let it imprison you. Plan for the future, but don't let it steal today. And let's talk about those hard moments. The times when being present feels unbearable. Maybe someone hurt you, and their words keep echoing in your mind. Or perhaps you're facing uncertainty, and your thoughts spiral into worst-case scenarios. Here's a truth that might comfort you. Pain, like everything else, is impermanent. Every feeling, no matter how intense, will pass. Think of emotions as waves in the ocean. They rise, peak, and eventually fall. Instead of resisting the wave or being swept away, try to ride it. Feel it fully, then let it go. Philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once said, "Life can only be understood backward, but it must be lived forward." This reminds us that while hindsight provides clarity, it's the present moment that holds the power to shape our future. Every small action you take now ripples outward. When you choose kindness today, you're planting seeds for a kinder tomorrow. When you take care of your health today, you're building a stronger future self. The present is where everything begins. Let's not forget the role of gratitude in all of this. Gratitude is like a magic lens, turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, the present moment becomes a treasure chest. Even in the darkest times, there's something to be thankful for: a breath, a heartbeat, a glimmer of hope. Gratitude pulls you out of the fog of regret and worrying and plants your feet firmly in the now. And yes, there will be distractions. The world is loud. Social media, deadlines, and endless to-do lists pull us in 1,000 directions. But here's a gentle reminder: you're not a machine. You don't have to do everything, solve everything, or be everything to everyone. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to pause, to take one deep, intentional breath, to remember that you're alive here, now. Living in the present doesn't mean life will always be easy or perfect. It means embracing life as it is: messy, beautiful, and fleeting. It's about savoring the sweetness of a ripe peach, feeling the sting of tears on your cheek, and laughing at the absurdity of it all. It's about showing up for your life, not as you wish it were, but as it is. In closing, living in the present is both a practice and a gift. It's something you cultivate day by day, moment by moment. And when you do, you'll find that life, in all its imperfections, is enough. You are enough. So the next time your mind drifts to the past or leaps to the future, pause, take a breath, come back to now. After all, this moment right here, right now, is all we truly have.